Welcome back to Deep in the Heart of Texas 4-H, the official Texas 4-H podcast. This is episode 19, and we are talking about leadership labs today. It's that time of year, so let's start having the conversation about it. And I've got some super fun guests, so I have really high hopes for this episode. Megan and Cole, how are you guys doing?
Hey, Callie, we're good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's it going, Cole?
It's going good. Finally wrapping up senior year.
Man, I'm sure that's super exciting. Well, you already told us you're a senior, so go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us where you're at and what you're planning to do after you wrap up that senior year.
So my name is Cole Sufal. I'm from Fairfield in Freestone County. After high school, I plan to go to Texas A&M and graduate with an animal science degree.
Whoop. Sorry to all of our tech friends listening, but we had to. All right, Megan.
My name is Megan Schaefer. I'm the District 8 4-H program specialist, and I'm housed out of Stephenville. Cole's one of my district council officers, and is a super kid to work with. I wish I had a million more Coles.
And Cole, I don't know if you mentioned it, but you're also in Texas 4-H Council this year. So I've had the opportunity to work with you through that. And we're really excited for the roundup that you guys have planned for us.
Yes, ma'am. We're super excited and we have been putting a lot of work into it. So it should be really good, really fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Y'all have for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, every week we talk about what the weather's like. Again, because I feel like that's just the thing we do in 4-H. And it's like a middle of the road day here. We've got some clouds, we've got some sun, but nothing too extravagant. What about where you guys are?
Well, for the last 2 days, it has been raining nonstop. We had a tornado warning and flash flood warning, but today it is clear skies and looks amazing.
Oh my gosh, a tornado? Are you good?
Yeah, we were good, but there was one that touched down. It was a very small one, but like 45 miles away from us.
Oh geez.
We are beautiful weather here. We have been for yesterday was a little cloudy, but today is beautiful, and we are just soaking in that sunshine.
Amen. Yes, we are too. All right. Well, like I said in the beginning, we are talking about Leadership Lab this week because it's a big thing we do in the summer in 4-H here in Texas. And a lot of kids go to it. It's fun, it's engaging, it's exciting. There's opportunity that you learn so much. So, I would really just love to introduce what Leadership Lab is to those listening who are saying, what are they talking about? So, what is a Leadership Lab?
Yeah, so Leadership Lab for us here in District 8 is one of our premier leadership events that we offer throughout the year. This camp is a 3 to 4 day camp, kind of depending on our year, that is geared for our 8th grade through 12th grade students to learn more about leadership development, to make some new friends, and take some quality skills back that they can use with their county councils, other officer groups that they're a part of, things like that. Lots of lessons to be learned, lots of fun to be had, lots of games to be played.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we don't want to just talk about what lab is, but like how to make the most of it as a student who's going, or maybe you're an agent who's going for the first time. And so, um, what what can people expect? Because I know a lot of people think, well, that's where our district council is elected. So beyond that, what should people expect?
Cole, what do you expect as a student?
So going into my 4-H career, I just went to my first leadership lab 3 years ago, and I had no clue what to expect. But now, as I did it and have been able to help plan it out, what you should expect is lots of fun and getting to meet everybody in your district that comes. And it's so many people, especially in District 8. Everybody is very involved, and I absolutely love to see that. So you really get to make a lot of bonds with a lot of people. And then, other than just making friends, you get to learn together and grow together through workshops and team bonding games. And obviously, you get to see your district council come together, but you just get to see how your team functions and how important the planning and supportive a community goes as far as putting events together and really growing in your 4-H career.
Yeah, I would say from an adult perspective, you can expect to assist with workshops. You can expect to stay up way later than your regular bedtime and get up probably the same time that you do every day, which is a little earlier for most of our kids. But um, we have long days. But they are so packed with fun and a lot of fellowship with our agents together, but also with our kids. It's one of my most favorite things to see is our youth who come in being very shy, very standoffish, and they leave in tears because they don't want to leave the new friends that they just met. And so we challenge our kids to push themselves out of their comfort zone. We challenge them to be better leaders, to be better human beings, and they exceed every expectation that we ever put on them.
Man, that's awesome. I like want to come to Leadership Lab after hearing
You should, Callie. It's gonna be a great time.
So okay, you said long days. What does a typical day look like at lab?
Yeah, so we are like in the throes of planning all of this right now, and so our typical day this year we're back at a three day camp. Last year we were at a 4-day camp because we had an extra day where we took the kids to Schlitterbahn and had a big time. But this year we're at the 4-H center and have just our standard days. So Tuesday, yeah, nope, Wednesday. That's our second day at camp. Will be kind of our super long day where we start at 7:30 in the morning with breakfast. Then we start with workshops. Part of the whole reason that we're at camp is to get some educational experiences there. And so we do have a wealth of educational experiences. So we go through workshops until lunchtime. After lunch, we'll have an hour or two more of workshops. And then we do free time because camp is also about being a kid and making those bonds and those friendships and having some fun. And so we'll have free time until it's time to get ready for dinner. Then we'll go in for dinner. And then for our district specifically, after dinner, we hear speeches from our district officer candidates and go through all of those. And then after speeches are done, we have a dance because what is 4-H camp without a dance, right, Cole?
Especially about the dancing.
Yeah, and then after the dance, we wrap up with Vespers and then send everyone back to their dorms to go to bed.
That sounds like a jam-packed, fun day.
It
Yes.
is. Now we book in that with 2 half days where we are not sitting still on those days either. We do lots of activities from the time they get there until the time they leave. And so you should be exhausted when you leave camp, and it should be a
Yeah.
quiet ride home.
Yeah, if you aren't tired when you leave camp, you did something wrong. I'm convinced.
Right? Right. You did not have the fun that you were supposed to have.
No. Oh man. And so Cole, will you and the other district officer team or council lead those workshops?
Yeah, so the way that we broke it out into our district council and the workshops is we all paired up 2 or 3 of us and we came up with our morning workshops and then we had different partners for our afternoon workshops. And so you're still getting to have good quality time with your team, but you're across a diverse group of people. So you're not staying with the same people all day, but you're still getting really good planning and really good, teamship and bonding in.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Callie, I will tell you that last year we pushed our council officers out of their comfort zone a little bit, right, Cole?
Yes.
I think Cole and Paisley Grosky and Kinley Gardner led a workshop on salsa dancing. And so we
Oh,
learned how to salsa there. And so we pushed them outside of their comfort zone a little bit. But like I said earlier about setting expectations for our kids, they exceed all of those and they blew those workshops out of the water. Probably the best workshops we've ever had. So this year's bar is set real high.
so
Yes.
Cole, I think we've got room for another workshop at Roundup. So salsa dancing workshop at Roundup or
I mean, I know how to dance now, so let's
he's ready. He's ready. So if someone says, I'm more of an introvert, not really an extroverted type, are they still going to enjoy lab and benefit from it?
Well, you fill that answer first and then I'll fill in because you were that kid, right, when you first started.
Yes. So whenever I first went to my first leadership lab, I was that kid. I was an introvert, the kid who stood in the corner, waiting for somebody else to come up and talk to me. But around halfway in the first day and a little bit in the second day, that changed completely. I found a group of kids that I really enjoyed hanging out with, and so those are the kids that I sort of stuck with. And then, especially hanging out in our color groups, because that is one thing that we do at our leadership lab is we will divide each camper up into a different color group. And so you have a lot of different teams where you can really make the close connections. And then you go across to other teams and you make more and more friends. But starting out in a smaller circle is definitely a lot easier. And so really getting involved with the people that you're around helps turn somebody from an introvert who's really scared to speak into somebody who can make the most out of camp and can really enjoy their time and get to be out of their shell. Like Megan has said, the bar is set high and the expectations are high, and I think that goes for every camper. And really, we're just all trying to have fun and really grow as ourselves.
Yeah, Callie, I would say that for those kids who say, "Oh, I'm an introvert, I don't like talking to people," I have two things for them. One is that we will never make you do anything that you do not feel comfortable doing. We are a challenge by choice. We do ask that you participate in the workshops and things like that, but we will never force a student to do anything that they are uncomfortable doing, whether that's a zip line or dancing with someone or whatever it is. The second part of that, I would say camp is what you make it. And so if you, I tell this to my kids all the time, my district council kids, and we talk about it at camp too. If you come with a stinky poopy attitude, you're going to have a stinky poopy time. And that is going to be the experience that you take away. But if you come and are open to learning and to making new friends and to having those experiences, you're going to have a blast. I promise. I don't plan boring events. We have fun at everything. And so that is, it's your choice to participate and it's your choice to not participate. I would also just say that your parents shelled out or somebody shelled out some money for you to come. So you might as well just make the most of it and have a good time.
That's right. That's a good outlook to take with them beyond Leadership Lab into the rest of their life.
Yes.
The attitude they take
Yeah.
in is with the attitude they're going to leave with. And
Yep.
yep, I totally agree. And I can attest to that Megan does plan fun events, and Cole shook his head too. So for everyone considering District 8 Lab, it will be fun.
Yeah,
So,
this year is a unique year for us because we are partnering with District 7 to do a combined leadership lab.
oh,
We've never done this before. And so we are excited for an expanded experience with more youth and more skills to learn and more opportunities to grow.
and you bring up a point there about combining with a different district. So not every district's leadership lab looks like this, right? This
Right.
format, but essentially they're going to be the same idea of educational opportunities, fun, networking, meeting people from around your
Dancing.
district.
There's always a dance.
Right. Yeah. So even if you're not from District 8 or 7 and you're listening to this, it's going to be a similar idea for your leadership lab, just maybe not the same format. So, if someone is coming to lab for the very first time this summer, what is your advice to them?
My number one advice to anybody coming into leadership lab for the first time is, like Miss Megan said, have a good attitude going in, but also just expect to have fun and really don't go in thinking, well, I don't know if I'm going to talk to people. I don't know if people are going to talk to me. Go in with the attitude of, I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to go through all these workshops and it will happen, because I know I was definitely scared of my first leadership lab and I'm still scared going into my last leadership lab, and really just putting inside your mind that it's going to be really super fun and a great experience is the only way to think about it in my eyes.
My advice is to hydrate, don't dehydrate. We uh
Amen.
we want to make sure that you have water all the time. So bring a water bottle to refill. But also,
Amen.
I would also echo what Cole said. Sunscreen is my other number one
Mm. Yep, yep.
tool is
Mhm.
water and sunscreen. Make sure you have those two things with you. But again, it is what you make it, and so what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And I would just go into it with an open mind, um, and be open to the experiences that you will have and the people that you will meet.
All right, Megan, let's talk to the agents specifically now.
Sure.
So, what advice can you give them on like how to get kids to come with them? And then, maybe they have some kids that want to come, but they're brand new. How do they get there? Like what are the steps for them to take to get kids to Leadership Lab?
Yeah, so this is going to vary from district to district, but what I would say is number one, if you have some funds, pay for it. That's the number one way to get kids there. Sometimes asking them to fork up a little bit of money and create a little buy-in is necessary, but oftentimes when you're trying to build a program and you have kids that maybe have never been before, or you traditionally don't take kids to camp, paying for it is always an added bonus. I would also, if you are sitting out there and you're saying, oh my gosh, I don't have money to do that, like camp is expensive. You have Tractor Supply money for most of our counties. And if you don't already have that budgeted, that is a great way to use those funds. And it's a very easy transfer from the 4-H Foundation to my account or your district specialist's account. And so I would encourage you to do that. There are also always people in the community that are willing to sponsor a kid to go to camp. Somebody that has had that experience before, that knows um, the importance and the value in that camp, and maybe reaching out to a donor to help fund some of those would be super. The county that Cole is in a unique position. Their county commissioners actually pay for those kids to go to camp. And so
Awesome.
that is the value that they put on that experience for those students. And so, you just got to find a way. So my number one thing would say, pay for it if you're able to. Second is, it just takes one kid. Take one kid 1 year and create some FOMO. Let that kid go and tell everyone how much fun they had, and bring that experience back to your county. Let them do a presentation about it. Let them hype it up as big as you can. And then the next year, you will have kids want to go with you. Um, as much as you can do to make it easier on the parents for these kids to go is always helpful. Offering to transport kids, um, offering to pay for it, and offering to make sure that they have what they need while they're there is always appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are a new agent and you're just, still feeling kind of confused, reach out to your district specialist. They want you to
Absolutely.
be there and they want to help you. So reach out to them for sure.
Well, and Callie, that's a good point too. If you are a new agent and you've never been to Leader Lab before, you don't know what it looks like, volunteer to be a chaperone. No
Yeah.
one's going to turn you away, I promise. Um, and so volunteer, especially if you're a dude, because we always need dude chaperones.
Yeah.
Um, but just go and experience it and see what it's all about. When I was an agent, that was the best way for me to learn something. I went and volunteered for it and did those trips, like the National Congress trip, the State Congress trip, things like that, to learn more about them. So then I could go advocate for those to my kids in my county. And so if that's you, I would encourage you to take the leap and to do that, and to go have some fun with youth from another county.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Cole. So if you have a friend that's never been to Leadership Lab and you want them to come this year, what are you going to tell them to get them there?
What I tell them to go is just do it. I mean, really, it is also just the fear of missing out. So for example, there was a kid from my county who didn't really know if he wanted to go or not, and so I was like, just do it. I mean, and he was one of those kids where he was a little bit scared to go in, and I was like, well, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? The worst thing that you can do is you have a little bit of fun, and it's not exactly what you expected, but you still get something out of it. And so what I tell my friends and people in my county who really want to get involved is to just do it. I mean, really, there's nothing bad that can come out of going to a camp.
Yeah, very, very good point. Just do it. Okay, so Megan shared that the main thing people should bring is a good attitude, a water bottle, and some sunscreen.
Yeah, absolutely.
What other practical packing tips do you have for campers going to Leadership Lab?
Yeah, I will tell you, first of all, I am going to speak to all the girls for a second. You're only there for 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days. So you don't need your whole wardrobe or your whole makeup counter. You just need a few items, pack them in a small bag, and take it. you don't need all the things. But what I would say also is that you're gonna for sure want outfits for all the things. We do have themed dances in our district, and so we always love when the campers dance up or dress up with us. It is so fun. So bring your costumes. We are at the 4-H center this year, so bring bedding. Most of the districts are at some sort of camp where you do have to bring your bedding. I would also suggest earplugs and a fan.
Oh, yes.
Maybe that's just me as I get older, but there's always going to be somebody that either talks in their sleep or snores. And so
Mhm.
you're going to want those earplugs. Head pods work great. I wear mine every time I travel, just because I'm a weird sleeper. But anyways, though you're going to want those. It also can get stuffy underneath if you're in a bottom bunk. And so having a fan that you could just circulate some air is always good as well.
Yeah, totally agree with the fan and the earplugs. I've started traveling with those as well.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
must.
cool.
Add.
For the dudes.
So another thing to add on the packing is leave room for snacks. That is another thing I tell everybody coming into Leadership Lab is bring snacks because you get 3 meals a day, but it is a lot of stuff that you're doing. So just bring snacks and bring more than you think you'll eat because bring it into a cabin and they'll be gone before you even know it. And then really with dudes, it's a lot simpler than with the girls, but pillow because you'd never want to forget that. I forgot a pillow my first year, and that was terrible. And so I
You
will.
slept with a folded up sheet, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And so yeah, bring a pillow, bring snacks, and I mean, really, we do like a. Usually at a camp, there's some sort of water, whether it be an activity, pond, or pool, and so bring swim trunks and be able to bring bags to have those swimsuits in if they do get wet, or if you have just any wet clothes. And I mean, yeah, really, it's a lot simpler than it seems. Just bring what you think you'll need and maybe a little bit extra, but leave plenty of room because nobody wants to bring a huge big bag in.
Nailed it.
No.
Love it. Yeah, gotta have the snacks. That's very important.
Absolutely. So, for district council, we always go shopping the night before camp starts, and I always tell them to get all the snacks you want. It's on me. I got it. Get them all.
Mhm.
The first, Cole, was it your first year, or was it maybe it was your first year? They all went and they grabbed one little tiny snack and came
Yeah,
back, and I was like, "No, folks, we got 3 nights here. Like, you're gonna need some food.
you
Go get
gonna
some
want some
snacks."
more.
Yeah. So bring those. On your snacks, though, I would be cautious. You might have some food allergies in your room and stuff, and just be cognizant of that, and be courteous and kind to those around you who might have food allergies.
Good point. Good point. Yeah. Okay. I just want to know what y'all's favorite memory is from Leadership Lab over the years.
Ooh, this is a big one. There's a lot to choose from, but I would say one of my favorite memories was whenever I first ran for a district council. After we all give our speeches, we give like another little minute speech about a random question that we draw. And my question that I drew was, what inspires you other than a family member? And so I picked Spider-Man, of course. Honestly, a lot of people remember that answer specifically, and I'll tell people that was just something I came up with on the absolute spot. I really never watched Spider-Man growing up, but I did know enough about him to put together a good answer, an inside joke, and that led to a lot of jokes and laughs later on. So that's been one of my favorite memories.
Spider-Man. That's great. Yeah.
Um, Callie, I have 14 years of leadership lab memories to choose from, and so I have too many to pick. I could tell you some of my favorite activities that we've done, favorite themes, um, all those types of things. I think the thing that I take out of those leadership labs the most, though, is that at the end of it, when I am teetotally exhausted, I've stayed up for most of the night doing all the things, making sure everybody is all good, in all the ways. And driving home, there's just a calm that settles, knowing that these kids had a positive experience. Everybody was safe. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody had fun. And when I get that first text, usually from one of my agents that says, "Man, this was a really awesome time. We sure enjoyed it. Our kids slept the whole way home, but they won't stop talking about how much fun they had." It's what makes it worth it. And so that's why we try really hard every year to plan a really good event and to have a lot of fun.
And that's why you're good at what you do, Megan.
My favorite theme though was the one we did 2 years ago. It was kicking it old school, and it was an 80s and 90s theme. That was the best.
Super fun. Super fun. What's your theme this year?
We are going for the gold with leadership. Olympics is the theme, but going
Nice.
for the gold. Yep.
Nice. Spider-Man, what's your what Olympic event do you do?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
You don't have to answer.
Breakdancing, right, Cole? Y'all all decided breakdancing was the thing that we needed to do.
But yes, we did all come together and do some sort of break dancing.
Yeah.
So breakdancing workshop is what I hear this year.
That's what they wanted. I don't know if we're going to pull it off, but that's what they wanted.
Okay, I'm definitely coming if you guys do breakdancing workshops. So, see you then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys, this was so fun. And I think that you've given some solid advice for how to make the most out of a leadership lab. And people are just going to enjoy hearing this conversation, I think. So thanks so much for being here and sharing with us.
Thanks, Callie, for having us. It was a blast.
And before we let everyone go, I think Cole has our top 4-H tip for us today.
The top 4-H tip for us today is to just do it and have fun.
You know, Cole, from the experiences I've had with you, you do that. You just do it and you have fun. So I understand why that's your top 4-H tip, and I love it. It's great advice. All right, thanks you guys.
Bye, Callie. Have a great day.
Thank
See
you.
y'all next time.